Welcome to another episode of On Location with Paradigm. I'm your host, Chris Tello. Today we have a very special guest. Most people would say she is the queen of real estate social media. Her name is Connie Segovia. Here she is. So if you don't mind, Connie, would you go ahead and tell the people who you are, the ones that don't know you, which is very few, but let them know who you are and what it is you do.
Sure, absolutely. Well, thank you, Chris. I love that introduction. That was amazing. But so a little bit about myself. I have been a real estate agent for the past 8 years. I have helped over 600 families all throughout DFW, from first-time home buyers to investors to builders. I mean, just families that are looking to upgrade their home. So I've helped a lot of families all throughout DFW, and I can say that I'm very aware of the market all throughout DFW because we just work every area. So yeah, I've been doing real estate for the past 8 years, closed over $230 million in real estate. And now I have a team as well. And so my team, I have 8 members on my team, social real estate. And yeah, it's been amazing, an amazing 8 years.
Awesome. That's good. 8 years. I mean, most people probably think that that's a long time, or some people might think that's not a long time, but it's a perfect time. And even a year is a long time. So for you doing it 8 years and you've come so far along, it's great to see. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people look up to you for that, and of course your team members as well. So I guess we'll start from the beginning. What really got you into real estate? Or actually, let's go before that. What was it like before real estate? Tell people about you, where you're from, and how you grew up, and go from there.
Sure. So I am from Oak Cliff. I grew up in Oak Cliff, so a lot of people think, hey, this realtor doesn't really know the area or doesn't know Dallas. But no, I mean, I was born and raised in Dallas, specifically in Oak Cliff, and so I've seen all the transitions and the areas and the neighborhoods, the communities. It's been amazing to see, the development, the change,
Mhm.
and so yeah, I mean, I like you mentioned, I've come a long way, to think, that just everything that I've accomplished, it's truly amazing.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, to knowing that you're here, you came from Oak Cliff, and you still work in the area, you know the area,
Yeah.
and not even just Oak Cliff. Now you've kind of expanded to different areas,
Mhm,
different cities in DFW. So it's great. You're wanting to know the area. You're wanting to tell your clients that you know the area
mhm.
and you're the expert. So what really got you into real estate? What was that moment in your life where you said, you know what, I really want to get into real estate. This is what I want to do.
Right. So I've always thought, real estate could be a great career. A lot of people kind of talked me out of it by saying, hey, if you don't sell any real estate, you're not going to make any money. You should probably get a career in something else. And so that is what I did. So I got my bachelor's degree in education. So I went to school to be a teacher. And after I graduated from college, I decided, I can do real estate full time. Sorry, I can do teaching full time and do real estate as a part-time
Mhm.
job because I was a teacher. I had summers off, weekends off, and so I thought to myself, I could try to juggle both and see how it goes. And that's how it all started. I remember leaving the classroom at 3:30 p.m. and going straight to the office. And then on the weekends, I would host open houses, and during the summertime, I would try to work as much as I could because I wanted to go transition into being a full-time agent. And every summer, as I tried to, you know, stop working as a teacher, real estate kind of slowed down.
Hmm.
And I didn't feel comfortable leaving education. And so I stayed as an educator for 4 years. So it was so interesting. I remember I passed my certification test to be a bilingual teacher, and at the same time, I was doing my real estate exam. So I was doing both at the same time. It was a lot, but it was well worth it.
Wow, that's so crazy. I mean, going from education to real estate, it's two different industries, but in somewhat it can be the same too.
Yes, yes.
Which is awesome, and that's good to know. Of course, where you came from, and it seems like a theme from our previous guests we've had on here is going from a part time job or having real estate as being your part time job, and it's not easy. And most people think they want to do real estate part time, but that really shouldn't be the case, right? Would you recommend that anyone that wants to be a real estate agent or a realtor, they need to really do it full time if that's really what they want to do?
Absolutely. I think it's really difficult to juggle both because there's clients that want to get on a call with you at 9, 10 a.m. And it's very difficult if you're working at a full time job, for you to step away to dedicate that time to be dedicated to making sure you're getting the job done for your clients.
Yeah, and that's crazy. You're not the only one to say that. So a lot of people,
Mhm.
even the guests that we've had on here have said, go full time, you need to go full time because it just being part time is not easy, just like you said. And one of the things that wasn't mentioned, but is something to think about is yeah, 9 a.m. You have someone wanting to call you, but you're at your other job, you can't take that call, and that's a missed opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah, I mean, we get calls all day long, and
Mhm.
I am glued to my phone,
Yeah.
so it was really difficult when I was a teacher to be able to juggle both.
Yes, I can definitely see that. So how was it like for your first year in real estate? How was it like in your first year? Was it easy? Did you find it a little bit difficult? Did you find your rhythm right away? How was it like for your first year?
So my first year in real estate, I can say that I was very fortunate because I did have a lot of sphere. I had a lot of coworkers. Since I was a teacher, I had all my coworkers at the school, and so I would talk to them about, "Hey, I'm a real estate agent," or they would follow me on social media, and I would post houses, and so they all were wondering, Segovia, tell me more about these houses. Tell me more. How much is a down payment? How much is closing costs? So they would come into my classroom after school and ask me questions about real estate.
Mm.
And I love that because that was another teacher would walk in and it's like, "What are y'all talking about?" And then that was my opportunity to sell them a house. And so it was great. I loved that I had people around me. Also, the more I posted my first year in real estate, the more even my classmates from college would reach out and tell me, "Hey, like Segovia, give me more information on this house. Like, hey, I just graduated. I just landed my salary job. Like, give can I qualify?" And so we were all in that same age group where we were in our mid-20s. We had a job, they had good credit, they had money saved, and I was able to get them into a house. So it was a great opportunity. It was a lot of people that I knew that were coming to me to buy.
Well, I mean, you make it sound like it's super easy, but I know it wasn't easy. It was definitely some struggles, but you took advantage of those opportunities that were there, and you really went for it. So that's really good because some people might have these opportunities right next to them, but they really don't have the intuition to just go forward to or go towards those opportunities. So you doing that is super huge, and that's big. So that's really awesome. So I guess we want to go. We know where you are in your real estate career. You're doing great. What what really carried you to the social media part, right? Because right now you're known here in DFW, and I would argue that's a more broad than DFW on social media. What sparked you to get on social media, show yourself on camera, and really start to blow yourself up there in that way?
So I think, I mean, I've had an Instagram account for the past 8 years. I mean, even before, literally my personal social media, I converted into my business
Mm.
social media. A lot of agents ask me, "Hey, Connie, should I have two separate accounts?" And I tell them, no, absolutely not. You want to make sure that, your sphere knows that you're an agent, the people that you went to college with, the people that you grew up with. You want to make sure that those relationships that you've established throughout your life, you're getting those relationships to, you know, trust you to buy a house. And so I think it's really important to build from those relationships. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, I want to keep things separate. I don't want them to know what I'm doing on the weekends. I don't want them to, I don't want them to know my family business." And I think it's a missed opportunity
Mhm.
because people will connect with you in a better way if they know what type of person you are. If you share a little bit about yourself, so I think slowly, of course, like I transitioned my personal account into a business account and I started posting more about houses, more about real estate, more about trips, vacation, things. I love to post about shopping too. So just posting all of that, I think that's really what helped grow my social media account and the consistency because I could post one day, but that doesn't mean people are going to remember me. I have to do it every day for me to continue to be top of mind for everyone that follows me.
Yeah, and exactly, and like what you said, you can post anything you want. It doesn't have to really be about real estate. It can be your family. It can be your favorite hobbies like shopping.
Mhm.
And what's great about this is that you're being authentic and people are seeing who you really are. And I tell this to people all the time, like be as authentic as you can as possible. If your favorite thing is cranberry juice, well, go ahead and talk about cranberry juice.
I'm sure
They
there's
just
a lot
love
of
it.
people that would like cranberry juice
Exactly.
too.
Yeah, just like shopping. There's a lot of people that love shopping here, and DFW has a whole bunch of shopping. So.
Have you noticed that
Mhm.
I've been posting lately? That I've been working out at 5 a.m. in
Yes,
the
that's
morning?
right, I have seen that, yes, I have seen that, that's great, and I feel like I'm doing that too, and I see that you're doing like, okay, cool,
Yes.
we're all doing it together, so that's great, that's really awesome.
Motivates.
Yes.
for all of us.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think people see that that motivates them just like me. It motivates me. So people, 5 a.m. Let's get up and let's just do it, right? So I think that's good, and you're showing people that you're staying consistent in that, but also staying consistent in posting and staying
Mhm.
consistent in your real estate career.
Mhm.
So that's I guess that's the main word is consistency, right?
Consistency.
Right. So what do you say about those realtors that maybe they don't like how they look on camera, or they don't want to show they hate their voice on camera, or what do you say to those people, or how do you think they should really overcome those fears and really help themselves really go on camera because going on camera is important?
Right. I think it starts with confidence,
Mhm.
right? It starts with feeling good about yourself. If you feel good about yourself, you're more likely to want to be in front of the camera. But if you don't, and it's like, okay, if there's something that you don't like, well, get to working. Like, what is it? If you whatever it is, right? If I don't like my hair, well, I need to be doing my hair every day so I can make sure that I'm ready to be on camera every day. So I think it's just really going back and analyzing and figuring out what is it? Do I not like how I look in a certain color? Well, then let me not wear that color so that when I want to be on camera, I feel confident because I'm not wearing that color. So I think it's really important to go back and really reflect and see what's the reason behind it.
Mhm.
And maybe just start by doing just little by little, right? I'm not asking you to go and make a full video of, I don't know, your day, but just starting with small clips, starting with maybe a post, maybe from that post, maybe doing a story, from that story, doing a reel. And so just really eventually growing and creating more content, but you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta start somewhere, and I tell people that all the time. Stories, right? Stories
Mhm.
is or posting, because most people they're scared, like you said, and confidence takes a form factor. And if you don't have that confidence, story is a great way to do it. And you know this because the stories are only up there 24 hours.
Right.
So I
Take
mean,
them on.
if it's not gonna be up there forever, if you're scared to have something up there forever, just start with the 24 hours, and it's an easy way to go. So beyond the social media, which a lot of people have seen, I saw it today. Your teammates, you had a team meeting today,
Yes.
right before our show. So how is it like having a team? How was that experience like? Tell us how you got started with the whole team and everything like that. Tell us how that started.
So, because I have been doing real estate for the past 8 years, at one point in my career, I just felt like, hey, I needed maybe a little help. And then I had a lot of agents that were coming to me as well because they wanted the support. They wanted to know what was I doing in my business. And I wanted to share it with a small group of individuals that I felt like were very like-minded, because obviously you can tell a real estate agent I can tell a real estate agent everything that I do in a day. They can go and try to do the same thing, and it's not going to be the same. But making sure that I have a team that's just as productive as I am and just as focused and determined to, be successful. I think that was really important for me. And so I selected a small group of agents that I thought would be a good fit to be part of my real estate team. And so these agents, we're all working together. If, I have a lead that maybe I just can't, my team is pretty spread out. So, if there is a client that needs to get to a house and maybe I don't live very close to it, they're much closer to that property and they're able to help me out just like I'm able to help them out. So I think it's been amazing. I've really enjoyed it. We get to just share ideas and really collaborate, and it's been great.
That's awesome. Yeah, and having a team and collaboration is always important, because we're not there to compete, we're there to
No,
collaborate
no.
as always. So I think that's great that you have a team helping you, and because it's not easy doing it as one person. So your whole team works with one another. So great. If they need someone, they have someone to call. And so I have a controversial question for you because everyone is spread out everywhere. What is your favorite city in DFW you like to sell in? And people are probably going to say, I hate that city. Some people are gonna maybe love it. So what city is that here in DFW?
I would say Dallas.
Yeah?
I love selling in Dallas. I live in
Okay.
Dallas.
Right. Mhm.
But, I mean, the thing with that is my
Mhm.
favorite city now
Mhm.
because I live here,
Mhm.
and I feel like there's so many different communities in Dallas. I mean, there's North Dallas,
Mhm.
there's South Dallas, there's West Dallas, there's, like, East Dallas. I mean, every pocket of DFW or sorry, of Dallas specifically is so different. So it's like I can find something for I can find specifically what a client is looking for in Dallas. Now, if they tell me, hey, if there's something specific that they're looking for, that's when I start to take them maybe out to different areas. But I mean, I was born in Dallas. What can I say? I'm a little biased.
Yeah, well, there you go. And it's okay if you're biased and you like Dallas, you love Dallas, you live in Dallas, like you said, you're
Mhm.
from Dallas. So I think that's a good answer. You have to can't really go wrong with that. So I guess let's talk about where you are now. Like you said, you've been in real estate for 8 years, over 8 years, I'd say.
Mhm.
And so, what is next for you? What are some goals that you have? Whether it's because we're almost towards the end of the year, what's your goals for maybe next year or maybe a few years from now? Where do you see yourself going, or what levels do you have that you'd like to share in terms of
Oh
goal?
my. So I have very high expectations of myself, Chris. Like, very high expectations.
Okay.
So my goal every year is to sell over 100 houses,
Okay.
right? So this is just me, not with
Mhm.
the team. The team also has their own production, and so we all help each other out, but this is just my personal goals. So over 100 houses every year. I I mean, I love being able to help 100 families. I think I want to continue doing that.
Mhm.
Now, it takes a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
Like, I work 7 days a week. I'm glued to my phone, and I think, at one point, I'm going to maybe just take it a little easier and not do as much work and maybe travel a little bit more. I can say this year has been amazing. I did take several vacations. We started off the year by being in Dubai. So we were in Dubai, we went to Rome. After that, we went to the south of France during the summertime. We took 2 weeks off.
Oh,
Like, I've never done that in
never
my
done
life.
that, right? Yeah.
2 weeks to be, just enjoying ourselves, and it was amazing. We went to Mexico. I mean, we've taken some amazing trips this year, and I can say that I'm on track to close the same as last year, where last year I was just so busy.
Mhm.
I couldn't take time off. I was really stressed. So I feel like my goal is really just to enjoy life a little bit more.
That's good. I think that's a good goal, and a lot of people feel like they need to stay focused to their job, just like you said, maybe the
Mm.
previous year was, and it can get a little bit too hectic. I had the same problem where I was working too much too, and I decided, well, I need to go ahead and change a little bit and just slow down, but still keep the
Maybe
business going.
delegate some of the work, some of
Hmm.
the tasks that we can
Oh
have
yeah.
some of our team members do, but, really enjoy life because what's the point of working so much if you're not enjoying it? I mean, obviously, I love what I do.
Hmm.
I'm excited to wake up every morning and get to work. But then I think about it and I'm like, wow, like there's more to life than work.
There is, there really is, and like you said, you visited all these places, Rome, you visited Dubai. Did you find it that maybe you got some clients from those areas? Were you
It
work
was
secretly working in those
so
areas?
funny. Well, I was posting that I was in Dubai,
Hmm.
and I had someone reach out to me and say, "Hey, Connie, I've been following you for a while. I'm actually interested in purchasing real estate in Texas." And I'm like, "What are the odds?" Because I tagged one of the restaurants I was at. I think he saw it on my story. I don't know, but it was just so interesting. And I'm like, "Well, I'm glad we're connecting." Nothing has came from it yet. We haven't closed the transaction, but it's so interesting, right? And I mean, yeah, while I was out of town, I was still executing contracts. I was still, working a little bit, but I was working at the beach.
Hmm.
I was working in the desert
Yeah.
in Dubai. Like, it was just amazing.
Right.
So, I mean, I think I just want to continue doing that.
Okay, well, that's really cool. What was not real estate related? Again, can be, but which out of those cities you visited this year was your favorite?
Oh my God. That's a tough one. So the south of France was amazing. I think I'd go back probably to Cannes.
Mm.
I'd probably go back. I really enjoyed it. It was really nice. It was my first time there. I love everything about it. It's so clean. It's so peaceful. It's a little bougie. My type
Yeah.
of vacation. So
Were there
it's really nice.
were there shopping going on in there?
Shopping
There was
involved.
shopping. Okay,
Yeah.
shopping was involved. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we know where you want to go in your career, and that's good. You have high expectations, right? But you know that you want to slow it down a little bit because you don't want to overwork yourself,
Mm,
and no one wants to overwork themselves. But what would you say to a realtor that is maybe just starting out? They want to get started and they want to hit that full time real estate agent or realtor a job, and they're ready to do that career. What would you say is the first thing they should do, or what kind of motivation would you say to them?
So I would say your first couple of years in real estate are going to be the hardest. And those are really the ones where you really have to be working nonstop. You have to work 7 days a week. I mean, I've been a real estate agent now for 8 years, and I can say I can maybe stop working as much because I've already grown my clientele. Now I get more referrals, I get more clients from social media. But early on, I was working so much. I was hosting several open houses every weekend. I was getting myself in front of people because I wanted to convert them as a client. I wanted to educate them. And I think that's where it goes back to my, my last career. I was an educator, right? So I want to make sure that I'm educating my buyers. I'm teaching them about the different loan programs. I want to teach them what's going to be the best way that they're going to make this one of the best investments, right? Not just sell them a house. I want to make sure that they understand what they're buying. And it goes back to maybe those first couple of years in real estate, you need to take more educational courses. You need to be educated because you're teaching buyers how to make one of the biggest purchases of their lives. And if you are an agent that you don't know what you're talking about, how are you educating your clients? How are your clients going to trust you to purchase that property? So I think it goes back to knowing your stuff. You want to be educated, you want to be in classes. What I've noticed lately that there's a lot of real estate agents that don't want to do open houses. They don't want to go to class. They don't want to take free
Mm,
classes. And I invite them and they don't show up.
mm.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're just like, oh, I had something else come up. And I'm like, are you going to tell your client that when they want to go look at a house tomorrow to
Yeah.
go under contract? Like, it is insane. They don't have their priorities in order.
Yeah, and most people, I guess, and I hear this from other guests we've had, or just other realtors have said, people that are just starting, they see the social media, they see the big houses, they
Yes,
see
they
the
see selling
money,
sunset.
they see selling sunset, and they think it's just as easy as that, and they don't really have to do anything. But what they don't see is behind the scenes, which is all that hard work, dedication, just like you said, the education, going to those
Mhm.
classes, and just collaborating. And I think a lot more real estate agents, not even just realtors, but anyone that wants to grow themselves as an entrepreneur in their career should really push to strive themselves in knowing more and taking advantage of those opportunities.
Absolutely.
hmm What is one secret that you think that but maybe not a lot of people know about that could help in someone's career or just help in a transaction or help? What's a secret sauce? Would you say?
You know what I really think is okay, you're going to think this is corny, but having a good partner.
Okay.
I think that is literally the secret to being successful in anything, right? Who you're surrounding yourselves with. Making sure that you have someone that has your back and that wants to see you grow, that wants to see you, be successful. Because I think if you have a partner, especially in real estate, we're working long hours. We're working 7 days a week. We are spending so much time away from our families, away from our homes, because we are out in the field, right? We're meeting with people, with buyers. And I think it can be really difficult to come back home and maybe if you don't have that supportive partner not, appreciate the amount of time or maybe a stressful day because there's so many transactions that can be falling apart at once. I mean, literally, it's something that I don't talk much about, but there's very stressful transactions in real estate. There's transactions where you're a day away from closing and the appraisal comes back short
Mm.
$10,000. Or you're a day away from closing and the seller doesn't want to move out and your clients are about to close. Like there's just so many fires that we're putting out left and right. And if I didn't have a supportive partner, my husband Irving, to help me out, to really help me brainstorm and give and be patient with me because it takes a lot of time to come up with solutions, and that's why we're getting paid because we are literally walking our clients through so many different steps of the transaction, which is very stressful. But if we're not surrounding ourselves with other support, then I think it'd be really difficult to take all of that in and be able to be okay.
Yes. Yeah, no, and it's good that you say that because a lot of people might not have that supportive partner or that supportive circle around them
Mhm.
close to their family. They come home, it might be stressful. And those things are factors, right? And you have someone that really supports you in any sort of way that always helps, of course. And he's right over there. He's sitting, he was taking pictures of you before we started. He was getting you social media ready and getting you ready to go. So he's already supporting you before this even podcast there. So all the time. So that's great. Well, of course, we always like to have you on here. We're happy to have you on here. So thank you for joining me on here for our own location paradigm. And yeah, thank you
Thank
for the
you, Chris, for
motivation.
having me.
You're very welcome. And until the next one.
Yes, thank you.
All righty, cool.